Hey, welcome back to In Shannon's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making a dim sum classic, one of those steamed dumplings called a shrimp dumpling or Har Gow in Chinese. It's filled with a sweet, juicy, plump shrimp filling and encased in a thin and chewy, almost translucent skin. So for this recipe, I'll be using pre-made dumpling flour, which I found at my local Ranch 99 or Asian supermarket. It's basically a combination of tapioca starch and wheat starch. Do keep in mind when I say wheat starch, I don't mean all-purpose wheat flour, which is something totally different, and it won't give you that like clear translucency to the dumpling skin that these Har Gow or any sort of dim sum dumpling is known for. So do make sure to find yourself the wheat starch and the tapioca starch. You can always buy them separately and then just combine them, or you could just use a dumpling flour that's already pre-mixed for you. So to that I added some hot boiling water straight out of the kettle. Make sure it's still hot and boiling. And then along with that, 2 teaspoons of a neutral flavored oil, and just give that a stir. You want to make sure that water is hot and boiling as you pour it into the flour, otherwise your dough won't come together into a ball. So once all that flour is moistened, you want to go ahead and get your hands in there. Hopefully it's not too hot and safe enough to handle, but you know, I have asbestos hands where I don't have any nerve endings in my fingertips anymore. So basically just once it's safe enough to handle, you want to roll it out into an even sized log, and you know that your dough is moist enough if you can roll it out without it cracking or breaking on you and being too brittle. But then again, you know, this dough is very forgiving, so if it does tend to be a little bit too dry, you can always add a few drops of water, just knead it into the dough until it comes together where it's like not too sticky but not too dry, you know, just that perfect medium. So once you have these little pillows of dough there, you want to cover them, make sure to keep it moist. And then for the filling, you want to get some shrimp, of course, we're making Har Gow or shrimp dumplings. I just took some frozen shrimp and thawed it out, and then just running it through with my meat cleaver till it's finely minced to basically get a like shrimp mincemeat. So once you have your shrimp, you want to season it up with some salt along with some oyster sauce, just a few dashes. Be careful because you know salt is naturally salty, or salt is naturally salty, shrimp is naturally salty, so be modest with the salt along with the oyster sauce. And then to that you want to add just a quick dash of sesame oil along with some white pepper. Go ahead and give it a stir till it's thoroughly mixed. And then optionally, you can always add some fresh scallions straight out of the garden, or some fresh chives, cilantro, or bamboo shoots into your shrimp filling. So now just take one little pillow of dough there, roll it around in between your hands, flatten it, and then you want to shape it and roll it out using either a rolling pin if you're amateur like me, or if you're an expert, you know, the chefs actually use their meat cleaver to flatten it out. But the key here is just making sure that one half of your dough is pretty thin where it's almost translucent and you can see through it, and then the other half should just be slightly thicker. And then you want to take a spoonful of your shrimp filling and place it right pretty much in the center. If it's a little off center, it's actually okay. And then you want to bring the two like ends or two halves to meet each other in the center. And then just do your best to pleat the edges of your dumpling. Basically pleat them towards the center or the top of the dumpling, if that makes sense. And then for me, I don't like all that excess dough, so I end up actually just cutting it off. You could always just cut off all the ends of each dumpling and then just re-roll the rest of your excess dough. That way you're not wasting so much. But just make sure the key here is to pinch it, really pinch it well, make sure it's nice and sealed and closed. And then once you have your precious, cute little dumpling there, you want to place it into your bamboo steamer, or you can use whatever steamer that you have. I'm just using my bamboo steamer that's lined with some parchment paper, and just steam your dumplings. Make sure to keep that whole pot covered. I didn't show it there, but basically you want to cover the whole pot. That way you trap the heat and the dumplings are able to cook all the way through. And just after a few minutes, you have fresh dumplings on your hand, just like at a dim sum restaurant. And just like at the restaurant, you want to make sure that you enjoy these dumplings when they're fresh and piping hot straight out of the steamer. That way you get the most out of that sweet, juicy, succulent shrimp filling paired with that tender, slightly chewy, but also melt in your mouth dumpling skin. It's so delicious, a great combination. And nice thing is, this recipe is fairly easy to put together. It's pretty simple, quick, and also doesn't require a lot of ingredients, so you can make it, months in advance, then just freeze them before you steam them, and then just take them out as you need it, as the dumpling craving strikes or the dim sum craving strikes, and you can steam it fresh. That way you can enjoy fresh dumplings anytime you like. So definitely, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Every time I post a new video, you'll get notified. So I'll see you guys back here next time. Bye.